This is not a good time for questions, brother.
Qui cum Patre et Filio simul adoratur et glorificatur qui locutus est per prophetas.
Not now, brother. After Mass.
Not now, brother. After Mass.
This is not a good time for questions, brother.
This is not a good time for questions.
What the hell?
What are you doing? Done now.
What's that you're carrying around?
Don't apage Satanas. What's that you're carrying
Brother?
around? And why?
Is this a tavern?
That you're carrying around.
Are we at a dogfight? Violence does not belong here, as you well know.
And where did you
This
get
is unforgivable.
I've had enough of this. You'll never put me in seclusion.
You dare resist punishment?
And where did you
Let me remind you, brother, you will suffer the consequences of your deeds.
Yes, brother. I'm resisting punishment. I've had it up to my neck with you, your monastery, and your bullshit. Do your damnedest.
You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the Order of St. Benedict. Begone at once.
The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by a superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though
Praise be to Christ, brother.
to God, who sees
What would
that
you
his
like?
heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such
I'm
work
interested
as
in the
this,
election of
he
the
will
new
incur
abbot.
the
You're not
punishment
alone.
to murmurers
Everyone's so
and
worked up
deceive
about that
and
they spent no time considering how they could make the monastery a better place now.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Readings on the spirit of silence.
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives. Sin abounds here, just as in the outside world.
Spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech.
What sins are you talking
So
about?
much the more ought the
The scripture
punishment of
says,
sin make
"Let
us
he who
avoid
is without
evil
sin
words.
cast the first
Therefore,
stone."
since the
I'm
spirit
sorry,
of
Gregor,
silence
it's not my
so
place to speak about the sins of
permission to
others.
speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples.
Tell me something about how the new abbot will be elected.
A new abbot has to be elected once the old one dies. All the brethren can vote, with the exception of novices. The abbot's crozier will be conferred on whoever is chosen, and he'll take the vow. When he becomes abbot, a monk spends most of his time dealing with politics outside the monastery, instead of actually leading the monastery. But he still maintains a fundamental influence on life here.
I'll be interested to know more about Brother John.
I don't like to speak ill of people, but Circuitor John is the worst person the monks could pick to represent them. He's nothing but an old schemer and pedant who preaches water but drinks wine. He's won the older brethren over because they know he won't call an end to their debauchery.
Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives
Why
the
do you
name
want to
of
become abbot?
he ought to govern
Because
his
when I
disciples
see the
with
way things are headed around here, I have no other
That is
option.
to say, he should show them
Itinerant
all that
preachers
is good
speak of the
and
corrupted
holy
black heart
by
of the
his
church,
deeds even
and I
more
can't
by his
deny there's
words,
truth in what they say.
expounding the
I'd like to
Lord's
change things
commandments
and
in
bring back
words
meaning and
intelligent
esteem to the
among his
monastery.
disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by
That's
his
all.
actions
Thank
for
you.
those of harder hearts.
Peace
and
be with
ruder
you, brother.
minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom
Leave me alone.
from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes
What troubles you?
to offenders, but since he has the authority, let him cut
I'm looking for something a little unorthodox. And what would that be exactly?
I need to get hold of some kind of weapon.
Well, I can't help you with that. And besides, what use would a weapon be in here?
I need to get some wine.
You're not the only one. But I have to keep records of all the casks, and the prior checks on them. He'd notice any loss straight away. Just like our food, everything's rationed. So I'm sorry, but I'll have to disappoint you, brother.
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
What's it to you? Do you have some or not?
Peace, brother. There's no need to get all worked up. So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Praise be to Christ, brother.
What is it, brother?
I have everything we need for the escape.
Show me. No, you don't have everything.
Brother.
Where are the keys? Or at least lockpicks?
What would you like?
What would you like?
Talk to me, brother.
Nevlis wanted me to steal a forbidden book from the library.
Really? Oh, this must be a dream. Actually, this would never have occurred to me, even in my wildest dreams. Which book? What did he want it for?
What was that writer called? Avicenna. A pagan and a Mohammedan. He wanted to use it to help heal Abbot Peter.
What? That dirty louse thinks he can steal magic books and use them to curse good Christians? Well, he shan't, as long as my name's John.
I don't think it's really like that. It was a medicinal book, and Nevlis had good intentions.
Brother, if the book is forbidden, there is a good reason for it. Forbidden books are full of magic, blasphemy, and witchcraft. There's no excuse for reading them, let alone stealing them from where they've been safely hidden away. Nevlis has committed a grave offence, and he'll pay for it. But listen, brother, for the time being, keep it to yourself. Now, you've helped me greatly, but I'll save it for when Nevlis begins elbowing his way into the elections. The power of truth is greatest when its timing is right.
As you wish. I'm glad I could help.
I won't forget it. Praise be to Christ.
I'd like to ask you something.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
Someone really reeked at Matins. You're right. It stunk like a wine barrel in there. And it's not the first time. It's a mystery, but one that will soon be solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedictus tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices. What do you desire, Brother Greg?
I'd like to ask you...
Salve, be well.
Are you interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about
Talk to me, brother.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you.
Can you read at all? I've never seen so many mistakes.
What do you desire?
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest. Praise be to Christ, brother.
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest.
Genitum non factum, consubstantialem Patri, perquem omnia facta sunt, cuius regni non erit finis, et in Spiritum Sanctum Dominum, et vivificantem, qui ex Patre Filio procedit, qui cum Patre et Filio simul adoratur et conglorificatur, qui locutus est per prophetas.
Can't you see we are at Mass?
Can't you see we're at Mass?
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Silo. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Silo. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on daily manual labor. Idleness is the enemy of the soul. Therefore, the brethren should be occupied at certain times in manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that end, we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive
God be
toil.
with you.
Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot.
Someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
God be with you. Servus.
I've read one of the manuscripts
God be
copied
with
by one of the novices. I think I'm going to cry.
It's that touching, is it?
Touching? More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. Young people have no respect for writing these days.
But they'll learn. We were no different. And it's not the first time. It's a mystery, but one that will soon be solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.